you wrote an article, Schwesinger kind of you and I have been covering the Browns for a long time. Schwesinger kind of puts you in mind of another linebacker who had a pretty good career with the Browns.
Yeah, Clay Matthews, and not the one that played for the Packers. Most
His
people,
dad.
that's the one. Yeah, we're talking Clay the third's dad, Clay Jr., because his dad was Clay Sr., who played in the NFL as well. But no, Clay Matthews drafted in 1978. You talk about a good draft. That year they took Ozzie Newsome. They had 2 first-round picks. They took Ozzie Newsome with the 13th pick, I think, overall, and Clay Matthews with like the 22nd pick. And one's a Hall of Famer and the other one should be. But when I first saw Schlesinger on the field back in rookie minicamp, he had his shorts rolled up, kind of like I remember Clay Matthews doing that. And he had the blonde hair a little bit coming out from under his helmet, kind of like Clay Matthews was known for. It just reminded me a bit of him. I'm not trying to put, that would be a tall, shoes to fill. I think he played 19 years in the NFL, Matthews, that is, 16 with the Browns, 3 with the Falcons. But if he can come anywhere close to that type of career, the Browns will have really a home run there. And so I like what I've seen. I like his attitude. He's very hungry, very similar to Graham. Kind of brings his lunch bucket and ready to go to work every day. Doesn't seem like he's overwhelmed by the NFL. And he did it the hard way. He was a walk on at UCLA, earned a spot on special teams. And really, last year was the only year that he really started, and he led the nation in solo tackles with 90. And so, he's not assuming anything either. He's trying to, build it up. And, you know, I just felt like in seeing him, if they get anything close to Clay Matthews' production, they'll have hit a home run.
I, in my mind, if Graham and Schlesinger are successful and play like it looks like they might, this defense is set up for some success with Jim Schwartz as its defensive coordinator.
Biggest concern is secondary to me. You lose Emerson. So now you've had Greg Newsome. He always seems to get dinged up and he's missed time. Um, and he's limited. I don't expect that he'll practice against the Eagles. Um, Maybe he will, but he won't play in the game. And so they need him healthy and they need him to bounce back. I felt Emerson and Newsome both had down years. And this is the last year with Newsome. He's trying to earn a second contract. He's kind of in the Jed Wills situation where they gave him a 5th-year option, guaranteed 13 million. But they did that with Wills, but then they let him walk and nobody signed him to date. But Newsome, whether it's here or somewhere else. And the Browns, he said he wants to finish his career here, but if he wants to get paid, he's got to play much better than he did last year. Um, and then you don't have a whole lot of depth. You got some young guys, Cameron Mitchell and Miles Harden are really the candidates behind Ward and Newsome. They signed a couple cornerbacks yesterday, so they're looking for answers, and then the secondary, you got Delpit. Then you're hoping Hickman can at safety. You're hoping he can hold the job, and then a couple veterans, and then a couple young guys. So I think the linebacking crew will be okay, and the defensive line that'll set the tone. The secondary is really where I think they need a year like they had 2 years ago, and I think a lot of that comes down to takeaways, getting some turnovers.
Yeah, I'm with you. With Emerson down, the bigger wide receivers like McMillan, like AJ Brown, concern me. So we'll see how they are able to deal with that.